Hello everyone, this is Asra Sultana, Assistant Professor in Triple Department, working in ISL Engineering College. I am taking the subject Power System 2 for Triple third year students. Previous classes we have seen about the short transmission line performance. So today's class we are going to see about the performance of medium transmission lines. So nominal T and nominal pi methods we are going to see under this medium transmission line analysis. Okay. So previously we have seen about the classification of overhead transmission line. Transmission line is having three constants R, L and C, which are distributed uniformly along the whole length of the line. Resistance and inductance will form the series impedance. Capacitance existing between the conductors for single phase line or from a conductor to neutral for three phase line forms a shunt path throughout the length of the line. So capacitance effects will introduce complications in transmission line calculations. So depending upon the manner in which the capacitance is taken into account, overhead transmission lines are classified as short transmission line, medium transmission line and long transmission line. So short means what? When the length of overhead transmission line is up to 50 kilometers and line voltage is less than 20 kilovolts, then it is called as short transmission line. Medium is what? When length of overhead transmission line is about 50 to 150 kilometers and line voltage is moderately high, that is greater than 20 kilovolts but less than 100 kilovolts, then it is medium transmission line. And long transmission line is what? If the length of the overhead transmission line is more than 150 kilometers and line voltage is very high, that is greater than 100 kilovolts, then it is considered as long transmission line. So we have seen two important terms, voltage regulation and transmission efficiency. So what is voltage regulation? Difference in voltage at the receiving end of a transmission line between conditions of no load and full load is called as voltage regulation, and it is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage. Percentage voltage regulation is Vs minus Vr by Vr into 100. Transmission efficiency is nothing but what? Ratio of receiving end power to the sending end power of a transmission line is known as the transmission efficiency of the line. That is receiving end power by sending end power into 100 or VRIR cos phi r by VSIS cos phi s into 100. So R suffix R refers to receiving end side and S refers to sending end side. Okay. Then we have seen the performance of single phase short transmission line and three phase short transmission line also. And we have derived the equations for voltage regulation, sending end power factor cos phi s, power delivered and transmission efficiency at the end. Okay. So for short transmission line we have seen the performance. Now let us see about the medium transmission lines. So in short transmission line calculations, effects of line capacitance was neglected because lines have smaller lengths and transmit power at relatively low voltages, that is less than 20 kilovolts. But however, as the length and voltage of line will increase, capacitance gradually becomes of greater importance. So medium transmission lines will have sufficient length, that is between 50 to 150 kilometers, and usually it will operate at voltages greater than 20 kilovolts. Effects of capacitance cannot be neglected in case of medium transmission lines. So in order to obtain reasonable accuracy in medium transmission line calculations, line capacitance must be taken into consideration. Okay. So earlier in a short transmission line, we have not taken into consideration capacitance, but now we have to take. Okay. Capacitance is uniformly distributed over the entire length of the line. However, in order to make the calculation simple, line capacitance is assumed to be lumped or concentrated in the form of capacitors shunted across the line at one or more points. Such a treatment of localizing the line capacitance will give reasonable accurate results. The most commonly used methods, which is known as localized capacitance methods for the solution of medium transmission lines, are end condenser method, nominal T method and nominal pi method. Okay, these are the three methods which are most commonly used method for the solution of medium transmission lines. All the above methods are used for obtaining the performance calculations of medium lines. They can also be used for short lines if the line capacitance is given in a particular problem. Let us see the first method and condenser method. In this method, capacitance of the line is lumped or concentrated at the receiving end or at the load end, as shown in the figure. This method of localizing the line capacitance at the load end overestimates the effects of capacitance. So in the figure we can see one phase of the three-phase transmission line is shown, as it is more convenient to work in phase instead of line to line values. So here let us say that IR is the load current per phase. R is the resistance per phase. XL is inductive reactance per phase. C is the capacitance per phase. Cos phi R is the receiving end power factor. Vs is the sending end voltage per phase. See, this is the phasor diagram for the circuit which we have seen just now. Okay, this is a phasor diagram. So here load current IR lags behind VR by an angle phi R. Okay, so reference we are taking as VR and IR is lagging VR by an angle of phi R. Capacitive current IC will lead VR by 90 degrees. So IC is leading VR by an angle 90 degrees. The phasor sum of IC and IR is the sending in current IS. So addition of IR and IC is the IS. Drop in the line resistance is IS into R. This one. This is the drop in the line resistance which is in phase with IS. In phase with IS. So parallel we have to draw. Whereas inductive drop IS-XL. IS-XL is always perpendicular with ISR. It will lead IS by 90 degrees. Okay, it will lead IS by an angle of 90 degrees. So OC represents the sending end voltage Vs. OC is representing the sending end voltage Vs. Angle phi s between the sending end voltage Vs and receiving end current Is will determine the sending end power factor cos phi s. So angle between Vs and Is, between this Vs and Is, that is phi s, will determine the sending end power factor cos phi s. So now taking the receiving end voltage VR as the reference phasor, VR can be taken as VR plus J0 and load current IR is equal to IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. Here this IR can be, you can take it as a phasor, okay. Capacitive current IC is equal to JVR omega C, that is J 2 pi FC VR. Sending in current IS is the phasor sum of load current IR and capacitive current IC. So IS is equal to IR plus IC. That is IR value is IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R plus IC value is J 2 pi F C VR. So IR cos phi R if you take at one side and plus J if you take another side, then remaining will be what? Minus IR cosine phi R plus 2 pi F CVR. So this can be written as ISJ, that is IS into R plus JXL, voltage drop per phase. Sending end voltage Vs is equal to VR plus ISZ, that is VR plus IS into R plus JXL. So magnitude of sending end voltage Vs can be calculated and percentage voltage regulation is given by Vs minus VR by VR into 100. Percentage voltage transmission efficiency can be given as power delivered per phase divided by power delivered per phase plus losses per phase into 100. That is power delivered per phase is nothing but VRIR cos phi R by VRIR cos phi R plus IS square into R into 100. So there are some limitations for this method. and condenser method. Let us see. So, although end condenser method for the solution of medium lines is simple to work out calculations, yet it has the following drawbacks. First one, there is a considerable error. It can be about 10% in calculations because the distributed capacitance has been assumed to be lumped or concentrated. So there can be some error that can be about 10%. Second one is that this method overestimates the effects of line capacitance. Let us see numericals. A medium single-phase transmission line 100 kilometers long has the following constants. Resistance per kilometer as 0.25 ohms, reactance per kilometer as 0.8 ohms, susceptance per kilometer as 14 into 10 power minus 6 Simon, receiving end line voltage is 66,000 volts. Assuming that the total capacitance of the line is localized at the receiving end alone, determine. So first one we have to determine sending end current, second one sending end voltage, third one regulation, fourth one supply power factor. The line is delivering 15,000 kilowatt at 0.8 power factor lagging. Draw the phasor diagram to illustrate your calculations. Okay, so these are the given data and we have to find out 4 things here. Sending end current, sending end voltage, regulation and supply power factor. So let us see total resistance is nothing but 0.25 into 100, that is 25 ohms. 100, we have to multiply the transmission line distance, that is 100 kilometer is there na? So 0.25 into 100 over the because resistance is distributed over the entire length of the line, resistance reactance, so multiply it by 100, susceptance also. So resistance will be what? 0.25 into 100, reactance is 0.8 into 100 and susceptance will be 14 into 10 power minus 6 into 100. And receiving end voltage is given as 66,000 volts. So load current IR will be equal to 15,000 into 10 power 3 divided by 66,000 into 0.8, that is 284 amps. Cos phi r is 0.8, so sin phi r is 0.6. Taking receiving end voltage as a reference phasor, here we can see that we are taking VR receiving end voltage as the reference. So VR is equal to VR plus J0. So IR is equal to IR into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. That is 284 into 0.8 minus J 0.6. 227 minus J 170. This is the value of load current IR. Voltage VR is nothing but VR plus J0, that is 66,000 volts. Next, capacitive current IC is Jy into VR, that is J into 14 into 10 power minus 4 into 66,000, that is J92. Sending in current. Now let us find out our calculation. Sending in current IS is IR plus IC, that is 227 minus J170 plus J92. 227 minus J78. Magnitude, if I have to calculate, take the square root of this is square plus this is square. Square root of 227 square plus 78 square, that is 240 amps is the magnitude of IS. Voltage drop we have to calculate, that is IS into Z. Z is nothing but R plus JXL. IS value we know, it is 227 minus J78. R plus JXL, R is 25 plus J into 80. So when we add this, multiply and add, we are going to get the value of voltage drop. 11,915 plus J 16,210. Sending in voltage Vs is VR plus Is into Z. 66,000 plus 11,915 plus J 16,210. That is, when we add up, we are going to get the value of Vs as 77,915 plus J 16,210. Magnitude will be what? Root of this square plus this square. 77915 square plus 16210 square, that is 79583 volts. This is the magnitude of Vs. Third bit, calculation of voltage regulation, that is Vs minus VR by VR into 100. Percentage, if you have to calculate, multiply it by 100. So substitute the values of Vs and Vr. We are going to get the voltage regulation as 20.58%. So angle between Vr and IR is 500, that is tan inverse of minus tan inverse minus 278 by 227, that is tan inverse of minus 0.3436 minus 18.96, and phase angle between VR and VS is 5 to tan inverse of 16210 by 77915, that is 11.50 degrees. Supply power factor angle phi s is 18.96 plus 11.50, that is 30.46. Supply power factor cos phi s is cos of this angle, that is 0.86 lagging. Okay, so end condenser method is over. We have done numerical also based on that topic. Now let us see nominal T method. So in this method, whole line capacitance is assumed to be concentrated at the middle point of the line, and half the line resistance and reactance are lumped on its either side. Therefore, in this arrangement, full charging current will flow over the half the line. So what we are telling here, that whole line capacitance is assumed to be concentrated at the middle point of the line, and half the line resistance and reactance are lumped on its either side. So whole capacitance is middle line, and half of the resistance and reactance are divided on either side. So either side means what? Two sides. We are going to see R by 2 XL by 2, R by 2 XL by 2, and middle the entire capacitance is there. So this is nominal T method. It is looking like a T shape. That is why it is called as T, nominal T. Okay. So therefore, in this arrangement, full charging current will flow over half the line. So one phase of three-phase transmission line is shown, as it is advantageous to work in phase instead of line-to-line values. So we are going to see per phase values instead of line-to-line values because it is easier. Let us say that IR is the load current per phase, R is the resistance per phase, XL is the inductive reactance per phase, C is the capacitance per phase, cos phi R is receiving end power factor, Vs is the sending end voltage per phase, and V1 is voltage across capacitor C. So phasor diagram for this circuit is shown here. Okay, this is the phasor diagram. VR is taken as reference phasor, which is represented by OA. Okay, this is VR, it is a reference phasor we are taking, and it is represented by OA. Load current IR will lag behind VR by an angle of phi r. IR is lagging VR by an angle of phi r. And the drop AB is IR into R by 2. So this AB is IR into R by 2, which is in phase with IR, and BC is IR into XL by 2, BC is IR XL by 2, which is leading IR by 90 degrees. So phasor OC will represent V1, OC is representing V1 across condenser C. Capacitor current IC will lead V1. See here, IC will lead V1 by angle 90 degrees. Phasor sum of IR and IC will give IS. Phasor sum of IR and IC will give IS. CD is now CD. CD is IS into R by 2, which is in phase with IS, while DE is equal to IS into XL by 2, which is leading IS by 90 degrees. So OE represents the sending end voltage Vs. OE is representing the sending end voltage Vs. Receiving end power VR is equal to VR plus V0, and load current IR is equal to IR into cos phi r minus J sin phi r. So voltage across C V1 is given as VR plus IR into Z by 2. That is VR plus IR into cos phi r minus J sin phi r into R by 2 plus J XL by 2. Capacitive current IC is given as J omega C V1, that is J omega FC V1. Sending end current IS is IR plus IC. Sending end voltage Vs is V1 plus IS into Z by 2 plus V1 plus IS into R by 2 plus JXL by 2. So all these equations we are writing whatever I said you in the explanation part. So according to your phasor diagram, we are writing these equations. Let us see a numerical based on this topic. A three-phase 50 Hz over a transmission line 100 km long has the following constants. Resistance per kilometer per phase, that is 0.1 ohms. Inductive reactance per kilometer per phase, 0.2 ohms. Capacitive susceptance per kilometer per phase, 0.04 into 10 power minus 4 Simon. Determine sending end current, sending end voltage, sending end power factor, transmission efficiency when supplying a balanced load of 10,000 kilowatt at 66 kilovolt, power factor 0.8 lagging. Use nominality method. We have to first draw the diagram here. So both phasor diagram and the circuit diagram. So nominality method means what I said. Capacitance will be in the middle, and on the either side we are going to see the half of the resistance and reactances. So R by 2 XL by 2, R by 2 XL by 2, and this is a sending end voltage, receiving end voltage, sending end current, receiving end current. This is the load neutral. Okay. Phasor diagram same like that. Whatever we have discussed just now. Difference is VR. IR is lagging VR when angle phi R. IC is 90 degrees with VR leading the VR by 90 degrees. Vector addition of IR and IC is IS. Then we have seen IR into R by 2 is parallel with IS, and IR XL by 2 is perpendicular with IR by 2. Then addition of all these VR, IR into R by 2 and IR XL by 2 is V1. Then we have seen that this IS R by 2 is parallel with IR by 2, and perpendicular to this is IS XL by 2, and addition of V1 IS R by 2, IS XL by 2 is Vs. Okay. So total resistance per phase R is 0.1 into 100. So per kilo resistance per kilometer per phase is 0.1, it is given, multiplied by 100 because it is distributed over the entire length of the line. So resistance is 10 ohms, reactance also multiplied by 100, 0.2 into 100, 20 ohms. Capacitive susceptance 0.04 into 10 power minus 4 into 100, that is 4 into 10 power minus 4 as Simons. Receiving end voltage per phase VR is 66,000 by root 3 to 38,105 volt. IR is 10,000 into 10 power 3 by root 3 into 66 into 10 power 3 into 0.8 power 109 amps. Cos phi R is 0.8, sin phi R is 0.6. Impedance per phase Z is R plus JXL, that is 10 plus J20. Taking receiving end voltage as the reference phasor. Receiving end voltage is VR plus J0, that is 38,105 volt. Load current IR is IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R, that is 109 into 0.8 minus J 0.6, 87.2 minus J 65.4. Voltage across C, it is V1 is equal to VR plus IR into Z by 2. Substitute all the values. We are going to get the value as 39,195 plus GA 545. Charging current IC is J by V1 minus 0.218 J 15.6. Sending end current IS is IR plus IC. So substitute IR and IC values. So we are going to get it as 100 amps. Sending end voltage Vs is so this sending end current is 100 amps. So now we have to calculate sending end voltage. Sending end voltage is V1 plus IS into Z by 2. Substitute all the values. We are going to get the value as 40145 angle 1 degree 41 seconds 40 seconds. So 40,145 into root 3, line value we want. So 69,533 volts or 69.53 kilovolt. So when we refer to the phasor diagram here, phi 1 is the angle between VR and Vs, that is 1 degree 40 second. Theta 2 is the, it's not phi 1, phi theta 1, theta 2, theta phi s. Okay, theta 2 is angle between VR and IS, 29 degree 47 minutes. Phi s is angle between Vs and IS, that is addition of these two, 31 degrees 27 seconds. Sending end power factor cos phi s is cos of this angle, that is 0.853 lagging. Sending end power is 3 Vs IS cos phi s. Substitute all the values. 10273.105 kilowatt Power delivered is 10,000 kilowatt. Transmission efficiency is 10,000 by 10273.105 into 100, that is 97.34%. Another numerical, let us see. 3-phase 50 Hz transmission line, 100 km long, delivers 20 megawatt at 0.9 power factor, lagging, and at 110 kilovolt. Resistance and reactance of line per phase per kilometer are 0.2 ohms and 0.4 ohms respectively, while capacitance admittance is 2.5 into 10 per minus 6 Simon per kilometer per phase. Calculate current and voltage at the sending end, efficiency of transmission. Use nominality method. So again, write the calculate resistance 0.2 into 100, reactance 0.4 into 100, susceptance. Sorry, admittance is given here. Admittance 2.5 into 10 per minus 6 into 100. Okay. Impedance is 20 plus J240. So draw the diagram, nominality diagram, draw the phasor diagram. VR is 110 into 10 power 3 by root 3, 63,508 volts. Load current IR is 20 into 10 power 6 by root 3, 110, 10 power 3 into 0.9, 116.6 amps. Cos phi R is 0.9, sin phi R is 0.435. So taking receiving end voltage as phasor, reference phasor, VR is VR plus J0, that is 63,508 volts. IR is IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. So value is 105 minus J 50.7. Voltage across C is V1 is VR plus IR into Z by 2. Substitute all the values. We are going to get the value as 65572 plus J 1593. Charging current IC is JY V1. The substitute all the values, minus 0.4 plus J 16.4 is the answer. Sending in current IS is IR plus IC. So add these two values and convert the rectangular to polar. Then whatever value we are getting here is the value of sending in current 110 amps. Sending in voltage Vs is V1 plus Is into Z by 2. Substitute all the values. We know all these values. So in rectangular form we are going to get it as 67,304 plus J 33,442. Magnitude will be what? Root of this square plus this square, that is 67,387 volts. This is nothing but line value of sending end voltage. Total line losses will be what? 3 Is square R by 2 plus 3 IR square R by 2. That is 0.77 megawatt, and transmission efficiency is 20 by 20 plus 0.77 into 100, that is 96.29%. Now let us see nominal pi method. In this method, capacitance of each conductor, that is line to neutral, will be divided into two halves. One half is being lumped at the sending end and the other half at the receiving end. So it is obvious that capacitance at the sending end has no effect on the line drop. However, its charging current must be added to line current in order to obtain total sending end current. So what we are doing in nominal pi method, capacitance of each conductor is divided into two halves. Capacitance is divided into two halves. This is resistance and inductance is as it is. So it is looking like a pi. That is why it is called as pi, nominal pi method. So capacitance is divided into two halves on either side. One half is lumped at the receiving end, another half at the sending end. So IR is the load current per phase, R is the resistance per phase, XL is inductive reactance per phase, C is the capacitance per phase, cos phi R is receiving end power factor which is lagging, and Vs is the sending end voltage per phase. Phasor diagram of the circuit is shown in the figure, taking the receiving end voltage as phasor diagram. Phasor. Okay. So VR is the reference here, represented by OA, and current IR will lag behind VR by an angle of IR. Charging current IC1 will lead VR by 90 degrees. Line current IL is the phasor sum of IR and IC1, and drop AB is equal to IR into IL into R, which is in phase with IL, whereas drop BC is IL XL, which is leading IL by 90 degrees. OC represents sending end voltage Vs. Charging current IC2 will lead Vs by 90 degrees. So sending end current Is is the phasor sum of IC2 and IL, and the angle phi s between sending end voltage and Vs and sending end current Is will determine the sending end power factor cos phi s. Now let us write the equations. VR is VR plus J0. Load current is IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. Charging current at load end is IC1 is J omega C by 2 VR. that is GA pi FC VR. Line current is IR plus IC1. Sending end voltage VS is VR plus ILZ, that is VR plus IL into R plus JXL. Charging current at the sending end is IC2 is J omega C by 2 Vs, that is J pi FC Vs. Sending end current IS is IL plus IC2. Let us see the numerical. A 3-phase 50 Hz 150 km line has a resistance, inductive reactance and a capacitive shunt admittance of 0.1 ohms, 0.5 ohms and 3 into 10 power minus 6 Siemens per kilometer per phase. If the line delivers 50 megawatt at 110 kilovolt and 0.8 power factor lagging, determine the sending end voltage and current. Assume a nominal pies for the circuit for the line. So in the circuit diagram, total resistance per phase is 0.1 into 150, that is 15 ohms. XL is 0.5 into 150, that is 75 ohms. Capacity admittance per phase is 45 into 10 power minus 5 Siemens. Receiving end voltage is 110 into 10 power 3 by root 3, 63,508 volts. Receiving end voltage VR is 110 into 10 power 3 by. Load current is IR is 50 into 10 power 6 by root 3 into 110 into 10 power 3 into 0.8, 328 amps. Cos phi R is 0.8, sin phi R is 0.6. Draw the nominal pi diagram. That is at the sending and receiving end, capacitance is divided by 2, C by 2, C by 2, and R and XL in series here. Okay. VR is VR plus J0, that is 60,508 volts. IR is IR into cos phi R minus J sin phi R. So we got the values for IC1, IL, Vs, okay. And line to line sending end voltage is 143.55 kilovolt. IC2 is minus 3.81 plus J18.25. Sending end current is 306.4 amps. Let us see one more numerical. 100 kilometer long 3-phase 50 Hz transmission line has the following line constants. So resistance per phase per kilometer is 0.1 ohms, reactance per phase per kilometer is 0.5 ohms, susceptance per phase per kilometer is 10 into 10 power minus 6 Siemens. If the line supplies load of 20 megawatt at 0.9 power factor lagging at 66 kilovolt at the receiving end, calculate by nominal pi method, sending in power factor, regulation and transmission efficiency. So when we see the solution of this problem, first find out resistance, that is 0.1 into 100, XL 0.5 into 100, Y 10 into 10 power minus 6 into 100. So that is 10 ohms, 50 ohms and 10 into 10 power minus 4 Siemens respectively. Receiving end voltage per phase is VR is 66 into 10 power 3 by root 3, that is 38,105 volts. So similar what we have done in the previous problem, same like that. Calculating VR value, cos phi R is 0.9, sin phi R is 0.435. Drawing the diagram, circuit diagram here. Again VR, IR, IC1, IC2 we are calculating, and IS sending in current IL plus IC2, that is 177.6 angle minus 14.5 degree amp. So let us calculate theta 1, theta 2, phi s. Theta 1 is angle between VR and Vs 10.65 degree. Theta 2 is angle between VR and IS minus 14.5 degree. Phi s is angle between Vs and IS, that is addition of these two, 25.15. So sending in power factor cos phi s is cos of this value, that is 0.905 lakh, and percentage voltage regulation Vs minus VR by VR into 100. Substitute the value of Vs and VR. So we are going to get the percentage voltage regulation as 15.27%. Sending in power 3 Vs Is cos phi s, so 21.18 megawatt. Transmission efficiency 94%. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope today's class is clear to everyone. Next class I am going to say about the performance of long transmission line. Thank you everyone for watching the video.